The trust paradox: if you want to enter any room and command respect immediately, would you really listen and stop watching how promote less qualified people? Well, you've seen the perfect video in a world where the first impression is formed in milliseconds and presence can mark the difference in your career. There has ever been a more perfect time to master what I'm about to show you. I have investigated the neuroscience and psychology that distinguish natural leaders from rest. And at the end of this video, I will show you how to activate the brain patterns that they use without arrogance, without falsehood, and without waiting permission. I will also give you a step-by-step system, a step that you can start using today, so stay tuned. Now let's define what it really means, strategic trust, and why it is important. Most people think that the confidence is about feeling good about yourself inside and hope it shows. But is this just positive thinking? No, completely. True trust, it consists of understanding that the brain literally cannot distinguish between strategic trust and confidence authentic. They activate the same circuits neural. I'm not going to lie to you. The most people understand it completely the other way around. Society says that we must first gain trust through achievements and then feel good with ourselves. But this creates a trap. You are constantly waiting for permission to exercise your power, while others who understand the strategic self-presentation takes advantage of the opportunities for which you are qualified. And if I told you that the confidence is not about convincing yourself that you are the best, but to train your brain to recognize capabilities that you already have. Do you remember when you were a child and you played fiction and you became a character? That wasn't a pretend. It was your natural ability brain to embody the potential. It is chapter 1. Project your power time to stop settling for what is minimum when you have access to tools that can boost your career and your influence. First, let me show you the fascinating science behind of why this really works. Here is where most people is completely wrong. They believe that first you have to earn trust, and then the success will come, as if you had to accumulate enough wins to feel safe. But the funny thing is that your brain can't distinguish between the real trust and the one you decide project. Think about this. Do you know that feeling of entering a room and feel at home? Scientists, they discovered something incredible when studying what happens in your brain in those moments. The same circuits, brain cells that are activated when you're really skilled at something, also activate when you simply act with confidence. Your brain literally tells you reward for your safe behavior, even if you're still learning. This is what I like to call confidence. Strategic, and it's not about pretending nothing. Imagine you're at an event networking, and there is someone just graduated, but behaves as if will have been in the industry for years. He doesn't lie about his experience. Personifies the person in which one is converting. That's the difference between manipulation and strategic self-presentation. This is what really happens when you project confidence. Your brain starts to send signals of well-being, same ones you receive from real achievements. It's like receiving a reward for practice success. Better yet, the other people's brains reflect automatically what they see in you. When you act confidently, unconsciously they start to see you as more capable, but most people pass it by completely. They believe that the confidence is just about feeling good inside. However, this is what really matters. Your behavior determines most of your impact in any conversation. It's probably happened to you. Maybe you got all the answers right in a meeting, but the person who she made herself heard and spoke with confidence. And look you in the eyes. Here comes the part that will leave you speechless open. Trust is, in fact, the greatest predictor of professional success. Not your skills or your experience, but your trust. I'm not saying that the skills may not matter, but think about it. How many times have you seen someone less qualified than you to get a promotion? They didn't have better ideas, but better presence. Now let's talk about the first impressions, because this is where things really get interesting. Your brain judges the people quickly in milliseconds, and once that first one is formed, impression is almost impossible to change. Therefore, the person who enters with trust immediately receives more respect who enters with step, unsure, apologetic. This means something revolutionary for you. When you choose to embody confidence, you don't pretend to be someone else. You activate the same mental patterns as the successful people naturally use. You train your brain and that of others to see your potential, even before your history be revealed. Chapter 2. Rule the room the best. It's not about becoming arrogant or trampling on people. The true trust helps you connect better with others, because when not you try to prove your worth desperately, you can focus on really helping to others. So the question is not if you should project confidence, if not if you will start using the system success built into your brain, or you'll continue to wait for the world to give you permission. Now that you understand that your brain rewards trust, let's talk about the system that actually does it, that this works in real life, because the question is this. No, you can master confidence until you master yourself first. Imagine this. You're in a meeting with your boss, and there is one person who always seems calm and in control. Even when things go wrong, don't panic. Everyone is looking for their guide. What you see is someone who has mastered his game interior, and that is transmitted to all others. Scientists call it the mirror effect. Basically, any energy you bring into a room, other people copy it unconsciously. If you're anxious, others feel anxious. Tense. If you have confidence, others will feel safer. It's like a contagion. Emotional, but in a good way. So how do you actually control your inner state? It starts with how you talk to yourself. Here's something fascinating. When the successful people face the pressure, they don't say, "I can handle this." They say, "You can do this." It's like give you advice like your best friend. This simple change helps your brain to stay calmer under stress. But this is where most of the people are wrong. They think that the confidence is just about feeling good internally. That's only half the battle. How you feel totally affected inside your behavior. And that's what people really see. Let me explain the 4 pillars of presence authentic. Number 1, correct your internal dialogue. When you surprise yourself thinking, "I don't belong here," change it immediately. You are here for something. Your brain believes what you tell it. Number 2, own your space. Do you know how some people draw attention to enter? They stand upright, occupy space, and speak with their hands. This is not just for bragging. In fact, it also makes you feel more secure. Think of Superman's pose, but more natural. Number 3, master eye contact. A simple rule, keep in touch visual for about 7 seconds at a time. Long enough to prove interest, but not so much that may seem strange. Most people looks at the ground or stares at them, disturbing shape. Find the point fair. Number 4, control your voice. Your tone has much more weight than your words. Speak more slowly of what comes naturally to you. Go down to lower the tone and pause before the important points. Imagine you are explaining something to someone, a friend who really needs your help. This is the really cool thing about this. When you project security, you only benefit yourself. Reality, you make everyone else feel more comfortable. People Chapter 3. From presence to power, implementation. They crave clear direction and a confident leadership, even in the most smaller interactions. I'm not going to lie, at first this feels like uncomfortable. You may feel that you're acting or pretending, but the truth is that uncomfortable feeling is that your brain is reconfiguring itself. It is growing beyond your comfort zone current. Do you remember what we learned in the previous chapter? Trust precedes success, not follows it. No longer you're waiting for permission. You're taking the reins of the energy you bring to each situation. People who master this not only progress in their careers, but they become the person to whom others were currently in search of leadership. Okay, now comes the part fun. Put this into practice. Because knowing the theory is one thing, but walk into your next meeting and dominate the room. That's where the magic happens. Let me give you a step-by-step system that you can start using today. First, your morning ritual of trust. Before any important interaction, take 5 minutes to define your status. Stand up with shoulders back. It takes up space. Take a deep breath and remember your place is here. This is not just positive thinking. You are literally activating your brain's trust circuits. And secondly, the strategic entrance. Here's something that most people overlooked. You start calling the attention from the moment you cross the door. Enter as if you were the owner of the place, but with kindness. Do eye contact, smile sincerely, and move with determination. People decide if you are worth listening to even before you speak. Thirdly, place conversational authority. When speaking, speak more slowly than comes naturally to you. Take breaks before address important points. Use what I call it language of certainty. Instead, I think we should consider it. Try this is what I recommend. Do you notice the difference? You're not being aggressive, just clear. And fourth, use silent strategic. This is probably the more powerful tool than anyone speaks. When someone asks you a question, ask a 2-second pause before respond. Show that you are considerate and makes people come closer to hear what you're going to say. Silence captures attention better than any words. Now, let me warn you about the 3 biggest mistakes people make when trying to do this. The amateur, you try it once or twice, you feel uncomfortable and gives up. Send contradictory signals because it is inconsistent. If you're going to do it, commit to it for at least less 2 weeks. The obsessive goes overboard and becomes arrogant. He confuses the trust with dismissing others. The true confidence elevates everyone, not depresses them. The settler starts with strength, but returns to its old habits when the stakes are highest. He is confident in low-pressure situations, but it is cowards when it really matters. It is just then when it is necessary to redouble the bet. There is something great about our world modern. Now you can practice this conclusion, your transformation journey virtually. Record yourself on video calls. Pay attention to your body language and practice eye contact with the camera. Even your digital presence matters today. But here is the advanced trick that distinguishes the professionals from the rest. Learn to interpret the environment. Upon entering any space, quickly observe who has more influence. How do they stand? How do they speak? Imitate their energy level, but bring your own authentic style. Those who master this, not only do they ascend, but they become the person to whom the rest follow naturally. They are the ones people look to in search of advice, to those who invite the important conversations. Remember what we started with? Your brain does not distinguish between trust strategic and real confidence. Well, after a few weeks of applying this system constantly, you'll notice the difference. You won't pretend anymore. Trust, you will simply have it. Question is, are you ready to become the person you always have had the potential to be? Or are you going to keep waiting for someone else to give you permission? Do you remember when I asked you if you wanted to inspire respect in all rooms? Well, this is what we have discovered together. True trust is not about convince others that you are the one better, but to activate the system's natural success factors of your brain to become the leader that others look up to recur naturally. You have learned the science, mastered the internal framework, and now you have a practical system that you can use it from today. Confidence strategic, as well as that capacity childish play of imagination. No, it is not about perfection or constant improvement, but rather dedication to the process. Although it sounds like a cliche, the success really comes from loving the path to becoming who you are meant to be, not to try desperately trying to prove your worth to others. Commit to the process, your trusted morning ritual, your strategic internal dialogue, your authentic presence in every interaction. Make sure you are consistent with its system because your brain is reconfigured through repetition. Guys, the practice, experience, and work hard with constant effort always surpass talent alone. Now you have the same tools as distinguished natural leaders from rest. Your brain does not distinguish between the strategic trust and confidence authentic. After constant practice, you will not notice the difference. You no longer pretend to have confidence, but you train yourself to have it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want more content on how to master your psychology and increase your influence. Give me a like if this video helped you see trust from a perspective completely new. See you next time. Peace. Yeah.